So, welcome to Madcap. It is a game of screwball cartoon roleplay. It is based on the Powered by the Apocalypse engine, written by Spencer Rydell, with some help from Norman Rafferty. Hey, that's me. And we're going to be doing basically we're going to be screwball cartoon characters. So this is our first session. So, in the spirit of any good improv, we're going to go ahead and talk about our characters. So, Griffin, what playbook will you be using for your character?
So far I've decided I'm probably gonna go with a lunkhead.
So you're going to be a big, lovable lunkhead. So you
Absolutely.
specialize in being friendly, but you also can have bizarre turns of physicality and clumsiness.
Yep, just bizarre, goofy, and constantly friendly.
Now, so you pick a playbook for your basic character. You may also, this is optional, you may also go ahead and add a gimmick to your character that makes them stand out a little bit. And I believe you did choose a gimmick.
That is right, he is adopted.
Right, he's finger quotes adopted, which basically means that you're actually some sort of weird monster hybrid, right?
Indeed. I suppose you want to stop and explain Elderberry Junction, like, just in a brief little summary.
Well, the setting that everyone's chosen is we have several screwball settings like Golden Age Hollywood or cartoon futuristic cyberpunk. The setting we chose on is Elderberry Junction. It's a nice, happy little city nestled in the Ruckerberg Mountains, where every house has three attics. The sky is constantly overcast, and there's a deep and heartening gloom that looms over all the citizens, reminding them of their imminent mortality. So, yay! So I'm very excited about this because, well, it's the one I'm most familiar with because it's part of the book I wrote. And so, everyone, we're going to be doing comedy horror theme. So, Griffin, what did you have a name for your character yet?
I think I'm gonna go with Wilfred Waffle.
Wilfred Waffle.
In parody to Wilbur Wheatley. Which
Yes,
I think there's another Wheatley in the book, or at least another parody of it. But
there's Lucky and Cass. Their last name is Wheatley, but they're really just known as Lucky and Cass.
Right. So this is going to be like my own silly take on it.
Wilbur Waffle, heir to the Waffle House fortune.
If only could remember it.
You're a big. So what does your character look like?
Yes. Let's see. I've worked on this for a whole 3 minutes. He is a goat unlike any seen on this earth. He has a form reticent of spheres, large asymmetrical hooves, and a thick ooze drips from his maw. So he's fat, has 2 left feet, and he drools sometimes.
Okay, but for some reason, no one notices.
But for some reason, no one notices how odd or slightly monstrous he appears.
Yes, your gimmick allows you to engage in monstrous behavior to accomplish your ends, but also no one ever takes you the slightest bit seriously.
Indeed, I cannot intimidate a single person, which why would I? I'll just give them a hug instead.
Okay, so let's move on. Theta, what did you choose for your playbook?
I have gone with self-aware.
Ah, that's right. You're playing a self-aware character, and I believe you chose as your gimmick the magic art.
That is correct.
All right. So, what is your character?
I am going with Jordy Varel as my name.
Bob is here. He's talking to me, but he's kind of shy right now. He doesn't have a character.
Hey, I'm here. Okay. So here's the thing. I did.
Bob. Just to let you know, we're live.
Okay.
Okay. Go on.
Just so you know, I did make a character, but I did not know we'd be doing the setting, so I hope my concept is still okay.
Okay, well, we'll do you last.
Okay.
Okay, so let me see if I can flip to the screen here. Am I in the screen? I am. Okay, I'll just drop the link in the chat again, so you can go ahead and join. Okay, so I'm sorry. So what was it? Your name was George?
Jordy Varel, which is itself an homage to what you were thinking before. It's just a little bit more buried homage.
Hey, be obscure as you want. Jordy, I'm sorry, what was the last name?
Here, I will put it in the Roll20.
Okay, so you're Jordy, and you're going to be playing a cartoon human.
You let me know if this concept works for the setting or not. My idea would be that he would have been an artist for the cartoon that was pulled into the world, so now he's a cartoon.
Okay, I will tell you, no one believes you.
That's fine. I'm just saying, does that work, though?
Oh, I think it's hilarious. You should constantly In fact, you should constantly be telling people, none of this is real, you're all a creation of fevered imagination. No one believes you.
Well, you know how you have a catchphrase in this game?
Yeah.
My concept there would be the humorous part being that he's the artist, so every time something goes wrong, hey, they can't all be gems.
They can't, yes!
Taking
Classic.
responsibility for the badness of his own
Oh
creation.
god, just go up to every person and say, like, your design is terrible and walk away.
That's some golden
Right.
age Hollywood. So what do you use to make your magic art?
Just a magic pen.
So you have a magic pen. Okay.
Magic pencil. Magic pencil sounds like it better because no artist is going to start with pen.
Well, these days all art is done digital.
Well, I can't be in a cartoon working digitally.
A magical Wacom tablet.
I mean, you could have a magical Wacom stylus. That means I can come up with excuses of why it stops working. Okay, so yeah, so Jordi Baril, one of the animators on this project, somehow trapped in this world. Did you go to sleep and wake up here, or were you pulled into a vortex or something?
I imagine it's one of those scenes where like I'm hunched over like a big old writing desk or something like that, and just suddenly the camera pans forward and I'm sucked into the cartoon.
A really, really cheap 1990s Nickelodeon effect.
There we go.
The Sam Raimi effect. You were pulled into a Raimi hole. Okay, speaking of Raimi holes, we're now on the EHH.
Yes,
What did you pick for your playbook?
Smarty Pants,
So you're the Smarty Pants, and do you have any gimmicks for your character?
occult investigator.
You're the occult investigator, the one no one believes. Okay, so describe your sorry, does your character have a catchphrase?
I'm pretty sure I know what I'm doing.
I like it. So what's your character concept? Describe it to us.
Oh, like I said, occult investigator. You know, he's like a college student. He's like a college graduate. Just got out and wants to prove himself to the world and saying, "Oh, occult's out there, and I'm gonna prove it and hope somebody believes me."
Did we lose EHH?
He was talking.
Sorry. As I was saying, recent college graduate. I'm recent college graduate. Like, I'm gonna be a paranormal investigator and hope somebody believes me.
Okay. Well, yeah, and Elderberry Junction is a nexus for all the weirdness that goes on
Yep.
in this world.
Yep. And by the way, I'm a border collie, so sometimes I have some doggy mannerisms.
So are you serious or are you
I said I'm what?
So what's your personality? Are you grim? Are you jocular? Are you curious?
He's curious and eccentric.
All right, so you're like a lovable lone gunman type weirdo.
Yeah, though he doesn't seem to realize it. Like why doesn't anybody believe?
Right, you're a nerd. Well, Jordy keeps telling you none of this is real, but that can't be right.
That's all right. It's people watching you all the time.
Yeah,
And of course, looming over your shoulders, the literal monster here.
I can't blame
You're
you.
just like, oh no, that's just not real at all.
I can't blame you. All your thoughts were made for you.
They were made by the most horrible, aberrant beings in the universe. Television network executives.
And really,
Yes.
they can't all be gems.
Okay, and all right, so we have an occult investigator, a monster, and a self-aware character. Bob, did you come up with a character playbook?
I did, actually. I picked Vanity.
And does your character have a gimmick? 'Cause those are optional.
All right, well, this is going to be kind of weird, so bear with me. I came up with this last night. I am a mascot for an energy drink.
You're a mascot.
You're the cartoon's product placement.
Is that one of the gimmicks we have in the book, or you just made that up?
That's not a gimmick I picked, no, but
Okay, so it's your character concept. Okay, gimmick is like an add-on power if you want to have an extra move. They are optional. You don't have to have one if you don't want one.
Can I pick one later when I figure out which one I want?
Yes, and in fact, I can assign one to you later if I feel like it. So,
Anyway.
but you're a mascot for an energy drink. Are you walking around in a giant can costume?
I've got a pair of shades because of course, and I'm always wearing a helmet, ammo pads, and a skydiver's uniform. Also,
Okay.
this is important. I am rendered in the best CGI 1997 can buy you.
Oh, you're going with the gecko guy?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you're an obnoxious. How do you erase stuff in the freehand?
You gotta
Komodo,
click it and
technically,
delete it. It
but
becomes an object.
Wait, what?
file Komodo because alliteration is great.
Okay, a lot of people said a lot of things at once.
You asked how to erase something. You just select the line and delete it.
Oh, okay, that's obnoxious, but
It totally is.
I think you can also just right click and there's an undo option.
yeah, but I went too far. So he's for saying the color too. That's right. You're an obnoxious '90s mascot. Do you have a name for the drink?
Let me think. Komodo Cola.
Komodo Loco, I think, is probably a better
Perfect.
name.
That's even better.
Komodo Loco, and you're the official mascot, Enrico Komodo. And I guess you wandered out of the '90s and no one stopped you.
Pretty much.
Okay. To have a big extreme K, which means it's got to be slanted and made out of teeth. Just scribbling here. Okay, so you're the mascot of Komodo Loco, the energy drink, which I guess is bottled here, straight in Elderberry Junction.
May not be safe for consumption in Arkansas.
With the finest fish-based water that the town can provide.
Yes, with the secret ingredient. Unexplained fires are a matter for the courts. So you just wander around as a mascot trying to sell people on Komodo Loco. The problem you're having in this town is that nobody wants an energy drink. Everyone craves the bliss of sleep, nay, even death.
Well, it's probably in a place where you want to fall asleep, so I mean...
Yep.
Is this energy drink why half the town's crazies are twitchy as well?
No. Half the town is crazy because they can hear, they constantly hear the piping of the spheres in their heads.
I just thought my ears were ringing.
Originally, this was supposed to be like a life-affirming type show about the values of family and friendship, like Gravity Falls, something like that. But then executive meddling ruined it, and this constantly annoys Jordy.
I feel like we were inspired too much by the background of Batman the Animated Series. You know, where everybody wanted the dark and gloomy backgrounds, but then the producers of the show got their hands too meddled into it with an Eldritch horror type mix, and I'll just keep talking like this to people that will listen to me, which aren't many people, because they think I'm crazy.
Okay, I forgot. Griffin, what was the name of your goat man?
Wilfred Waffle.
Wilfred Waffle, heir
You
to
just
the
put Waffle
House.
there too if you wanted.
Heir to the Waffle House fortune. And EHH, what was your character? His name?
Alec Collin. Collen. Collen.
I'm just gonna put Alec there and stop. That makes my life easy.
That works
All
too.
right. So all of you live in Elderberry Junction. It is a rail town where the trains run constantly 24/7, bringing in loads of garbage and toxic waste from the rest of the country. They always arrive full, drive in a tunnel, roll into tunnels, and then roll back out empty off to the horizon. Ruckerberg is surrounded on 3 sides by mountains and 1 side by the ocean. The glow of the ocean keeps you awake at night. So all of you have been dumped here for one other reason. Jordy's been dumped here. Wilfred was born here. Alec was drawn to here. And Komodo has been sent here to help. Apparently, he was supposed to go to the sporting event, where the fighting cephalopods we're gonna fight the Myconids. But unfortunately, that happened on a Black Sunday. So the Komodo, you accidentally tripped on your shoelace and didn't make it to the game. By the time you got to the stadium, no one was there.
Well, that's the end of me.
So for many of you have Jordy could tell you that he's tried to leave town, but there are no roads that lead out of town. None of the streets in the town actually leave. The only thing that actually leaves the town are the trains, and they move too fast for anyone to jump on top of.
It's a very Delamore situation we've got here.
Yeah.
Well, that's not entirely true. There's the one road out of town that goes straight back to the other side.
Yeah, there's the one tunnel
Circles around. You get to stay here forever with me.
Oddly enough, does that. The only other tunnel that you've been able to find, there were lots of people inside who offered to help you leave, but for some reason you didn't trust them.
Yeah. You go all the way through the tunnel, and it's a very Neverwhere situation when you get out there.
Hello!
And you realize the bleak mental landscape that you're now in, and you just have to return back to town and deal with it. The repercussions of your choices.
Well, seriously though, you've actually never been able to leave. No one is able to leave.
Of course not. If I was able to leave, I wouldn't be in a cartoon anymore.
Right.
What did you want to? We got a Waffle House.
I got here and I started shouting at the heavens, hoping that somebody would look down at my cartoon and realize what had happened to me, but I've been here for years.
You're not really sure how long you've been here. Sometimes the stories repeat themselves.
It's a horror.
Nothing's ever happened.
It's a true horror for a real person.
You're trapped in Nickelodeon syndication, where your show never changes for 18 years.
Yeah, have you ever seen the Angry Beavers? They're not allowed to die.
The Angry Beaver. Well, I'm thinking more like SpongeBob SquarePants. Like, holy crap!
Wow, too soon, man. Don't go there.
And Komodo Loco's graphical style clashes with everyone else because everyone else is drawn.
How many times does he say reboot?
Yeah, and Komodo has awkward movements. Every now and then, his eyeballs pop weirdly out of his. Well, actually, no. We put the shades on so we don't have to animate his eyeballs, but he looks like he came.
So the shades pop out instead.
Oh, he doesn't Chester Cheetah and sometimes pull his shades down.
Only when he says his catchphrase is Komodo Loco. It's muy bueno.
I got a catchphrase. It's you must be at least this caffeinated to do what I'm about to do.
Is that why you wear the helmet and the shoulder pads? You're some kind of weird stunt man?
Yeah, let's go with that.
Okay, I've got the perfect gimmick for you. I'm gonna give you the gimmick of punching bag.
All right, I'll take it.
Punching bag is I can injure you whenever I feel like it. And by the way, any other character, if you're about to take an injury for a reason, if Komodo Loco's around, you can make him take it instead.
Hooray!
However, the good news is you can take 6 lumps instead of 3. So that's a special power of punching bag. But okay, so the problem is, even though all of you are trapped in Elderberry Junction, you also need money. Otherwise, you're not allowed to. You need a place to live that you can rent. Because if you don't have a place like that, then you're out in the streets at night, and the streets at night are weird. So all 4 of you looking for jobs. The only job that's currently being offered is there's on the up in the mountains is the famous Underhill Hotel, and they're currently hiring extra temp workers. There's just an ad in the newspaper. The headline: newspapers still a thing. That says they're looking for extra workers. Pay is exorbitant. Must ask no questions. Must have no next of kin or other people who would miss them. Apply hotel lobby. Ask for crap.
I feel like it's a moment where Jordy will sigh, look down at the paper, and say, "This episode again."
Wait a second. Someone that nobody will miss. Nobody will miss me. This is the perfect job.
Oh, my next of kin were probably wondering where I am, anyways.
Yeah. Alec, you've heard of this Underhill Hotel. Rumor has it the Underhill Hotel is haunted when one of the winter caretakers went crazy and killed a bunch of people.
This will. Ooh, this is going to make an excellent study. I hope I don't end up like the big guns.
I will say that I have never sold drinks to a ghost, and I would be totally down to try it.
Energy drink, good for ghosts, because that's what ghosts need. Ooh, I'm wired on Komodo Loco.
So, seeing as Wilford is entirely naive and reads in the paper that he has the job as long as nobody will miss him, he will get a broom, get a mop, and then show up and just start mopping the place.
So the camera, of course, will pan, and for those of you who are Aqua Teen Hunger Force fans, we'll have to the dun 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 dun, and the zoom in on the painted in big sponge brush strokes. This hotel, this weird deco architecture that's just built into the side of the mountain. Overlooking the dismal city with the weird clouds of green pollution, even though there are no factories, and the glowing sea. It's a long and winding road to get there. That first, when you're going up there, you'll see the sign that says "Watch for falling rocks," and then you'll see the sign that says "Watch for rolling rocks," and then watch for falling bridges. It's like, what? But yes, eventually you'll cross the one. Normally the road clings to the sides of the mountains, but there's just this one gap for no reason that descends into a cavern so deep that there's fog, and the bridge is like only a couple paces across. You guys will walk across that, and it will creak, and then you're at the Underhill Hotel. Looming before you with its weird lobby and its strange totem pole architecture that was common in the 40s and 50s. The lobby, the doors loom before you, and the sky is even more overcast than ever.
Is it one of those old-fashioned just lift and release door knockers?
No, there has to be a rope. Pull rope for service because it's a hotel.
Oh, one of those pull and you hear a gong noise sort of things?
Well,
yes. It's
yes.
going to be a bell.
Well, do you pull the rope?
Of course.
All right, so you pull the rope and you're like, doom, 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 doom. And suddenly the door will slam wide open. Komodo, unfortunately, you were standing in front of the door. You take a lump.
I will go flying about 10 feet and hit the tree. Hopefully there are no beehives in it.
At first you think it's a tree, but it's actually this topiary that's outside the place, made into a skillful-looking dinosaur. And the door opens, slam! And this haggard figure, a balding, short, goofy-looking guy. How do I manipulate this? Object tokens. There we go. Crap, I don't know how to turn off the lock to grid. Oh, there we go. This guy in a flannel shirt, pants, his hand is filled with loose papers, and he's also dragging a wood chopping axe behind him, and he looks at the door. What? Can't you see I'm working?
We're here to vet. We're here to answer the advertisement. Did you?
I can read. Can I just hold out the newspaper with the advertisement on the front?
He kind of like squints and looks up at you, and then he pokes you with the butt of his axe. Crap! You are real. What do you want from me? He says, grinding his teeth.
Money.
I just want to clean the place.
Money?
I heard
Finally,
I have a
something
job.
normal. Wait, you guys are here for the job? Oh, thank goodness. I'm so short-handed.
I tell him that his hands look perfectly reasonably sized to me.
Well, my hands are really long, so you have nothing to worry about.
Wait, who said that, Bob?
I did.
I think we both made the same joke.
Yeah, you guys.
Yeah, we did it over.
His brows descend, and he kind of like leers at you from underneath his brows. Are you saying that I have small hands?
All right. I looked to camera and say, "Hey, they can't all be gems."
You know what, Jordy? I like you. You're not like the other people here in this godforsaken town. Why don't you come on inside, have some cocoa and toast?
And I crossed the threshold.
Okay.
I asked.
Inside. Oh, go ahead.
I was
You
going
were
to
asking
ask.
Wes.
Say, I ask if the rest of us can go now
The rest of you can go now.
because
What?
they let him in and not us, apparently.
Well, he just
I
walks
love
away.
cocoa.
He says, "All right. So my name is Crack." He says, hefting his axe up to his shoulder and looking at Jordy. It's like, you and I are gonna go very far. So this is the Underhill Hotel. This is the lobby. Those are the elevators. Those are the cursed photographs whose eyes follow you no matter what room you walk into. And over there is the convention center. Okay? Now our hotel is full. So I'm going to need somebody to, go ahead and help check the bags. I'm going to need somebody to help mop the floors, which I guess is you, he says, pointing at the big goat guy.
Yeah, I came prepared.
All right. Good job, Wilford.
I'm imagining one of those old school Scooby-Doo "Where Are You" moments, where the special guest star of the episode he'll hear all this stuff and he'll look to the camera and he'll give one of those tired-looking glances, and then he'll poof off in like a puff of smoke when he runs off, and just appears back where the smoke was in a bellhop outfit.
It just appears later as who could be a slumming guest star though?
Would have been like Harlem Globetrotters or
yeah, but that's the '70s, where it's the modern era. We probably have some goofy.
We just like have Bella
probably some
like in a chair
YouTuber
somewhere.
YouTube star.
Well, here's the thing though. I am genre savvy. If I were to roll, I could pull up a modern cartoon character.
All right, so you want to go ahead and scribble one real quickly. So we'll introduce the move mechanic. Basically, the way this works is you roll 2 dice and add a stat. I believe for magic art, it's add your zany, right?
Yeah, roll plus zany, and I have +2 zany.
All right, so you roll 2 dice and add your zany.
All right. Oh, 2 dice, right?
Yeah.
Is it D10 or D6? Sorry.
It's 2d6.
Right.
2d6 for almost everything in the game. There are gimmicks that can give you more or less dice. None of you have them. All right, so it's an 8?
Yes.
All right, so yeah. So who do you want to show up? You're the guy who just scribbled him out of nowhere.
You know what? It's supposed to be a haunted hotel. I want Casper the Friendly Ghost.
Hi, guys, it's me!
I said modern cartoon character. Immediately pull Casper out.
Yeah, what's wrong with you?
Look, man, I'm a product of my time. I have been stuck here in this cartoon for a long time.
Okay, Crack is gonna go, oh no you don't! I know you're kind here, sitting here trying to make friends with everyone, and then trying to convince us to kill everyone. Well, now I'm gonna kill you! See how you like it! Crack runs off screaming, chasing Casper. I just wanted to be friends! He says as they run off down the hallway, and there's suddenly a bunch of applause happens, which only Jordy and Alec hear.
I look at the camera and say that the service looks bad. Their Wi-Fi is amazing.
Where's that noise coming from?
Here's the thing, though. He looks at camera, and I look over. I just lean over and look over his shoulder. because apparently I'm usually the only one looking at camera. It's like,
Oh yeah,
you
Alec,
can see that
wait.
too?
Yeah. Well, Alec gets out his phone and starts looking for the Wi-Fi password, and of course, there's like the network, and when you click on it, this little page comes up and says, "You must agree to our terms of service. The party of the first part, that's you, agrees to render your soul now and forevermore to the party of the second part, that is us. Also, you agree not to look at pornographic images. Do you accept?"
And well, and I looked this whole. I'm thinking about I'll just use LTE instead.
You try to every time you try to press the no button, it moves away from the finger.
All right, yes, it is.
I just put my claw over yes and just hammered as fast as possible, get through everything.
Yeah. Who knows what you're agreeing to?
It's fine.
Well, it's time to introduce another character. Will, as I live and breathe, if it isn't my friend Jordy. Yes, it's everyone's favorite breakout star character of this comic. This cartoon, Cattle Car Carl. Your friendly hobo who rides the rails. And yes, he is indeed a cow.
Carl, it's been at least 7 episodes since I've seen you.
Yeah. You'd think somebody as lovable as I would be a recurring character, but I'm guessing it's a network mandate. They don't want me to outlive my welcome. How's every little thing, Jordy? Are you still depressed?
It's not that I'm depressed. I just want to go home.
I'm surprised to see you here. Are you one of the guests of the convention?
No, I've been trying to find work.
Times are tough. I've had to go ahead and take a speaking engagement. In fact, I'm almost late for my panel.
Really?
Wait a minute, there's a convention here?
Why,
the
yes.
whole convention hall.
It's the annual / convention. People get on the internet and write strange and saucy romantic stories that violate standards and practices about their favorite characters.
Oh yes, I remember that. And I get a haunted look in my face.
The horror.
I mentioned I'm not allowed to go to conventions anymore for that exact reason.
Well, I'm sure you boys are banned for your own little private reasons. So I'm not going to go ahead and pry. But it's good to see some new faces around here, especially because, well, conventions on tough times these days. I've been attending 10 years, and every year there's just less and less people. Sigh.
What do you write about, Carl?
Right? No, I'm one of the speakers. I describe, I've got lots of great hobo stories, but mostly I show off a special thing called the hobo stabbing technique. Would you like to see?
No thanks.
Oh boy.
Yeah, I gesture towards our,
I asked if he stabs the hobos or did the hobos stab him, because it's not entirely clear.
You're not the first person to ask me that. Thank you. You can have a laugh point for asking me that.
Thank you.
Most people sometimes people confuse hobo stabbing with going and stabbing hobos, a practice that I do not endorse. No, it's the other way around, where we hobos have a special technique where it's when you least expect it. We just pull out a shiv from a disguised place and just penetrate your internal organs without, with the element of surprise. You never expect when it's going to happen, he says, gesturing front.
I ask how much repeat business he gets.
Jordy takes 5 steps away from Komodo Loco.
How much repeat business? Well, friend, he says, putting his arm around Alec's shoulder, and
I freak out.
If you do it right, you only have to do it once.
I try to slip under him and get it toward him.
Wow, what a professional.
Yep, being a professional hobo is what I do best. Well, these knives aren't getting any sharper. So yeah, if you want to come in, there's always empty seats in the front row.
Isn't that the splash zone?
You will get wet. And Calico Carl will, in his hobo way, shuffle off into the hotel. At this point, Crack returns. looking defeated and covered in ectoplasmic goo, which he is wiping off with which he starts wiping off with the pieces of wad of paper he has in his hands, and then he pauses, looks horrified. Ah, my novel!
Wilfred will take like his entire mop and just start mopping off his face. There you go, sir.
Wilfred, you get a laugh for that, so mark down you a laugh point.
Hooray!
And then
Crack
his.
And I try to get a sample of the plasm.
Go ahead.
Will mop it off on you.
Go ahead and roll your smarts, Alec. That's 2 dice plus your smarts attribute.
Is that sharp? You mean?
Oh, sharp. My bad. It's sharp in this game. Unfortunately, Alec rolls a 6 or less, and thus unsuccessful to get any of the goo. Get away from me! Says Crack, waving his axe. Bunch of weirdos. You're not like this Wilford guy here. He knows how to get stuff done. He works a good job. Wilford, I like you. You're not like the other people here in this godforsaken town.
Aw, thank you.
He says, staring up at your
he's so happy.
Dripping with ichor. You brought your own mop. That shows initiative. That's a self-starter. Every boss likes it when there's a self-starter. Why don't you start work on cleaning the 174 bathrooms?
Sir, yes, sir.
You can find them pretty easy. Just follow your nose. Here you go. And here's a can of comment.
TM.
It's very important that you go clean the bathrooms by yourself without anyone near you, so that you're totally separated from anyone who might hear your screams for help.
Those are instructions so simple even I can follow them.
What do you do, Wilford?
Oh, absolutely. Go clean the bathrooms entirely alone, by myself, with no one else around. Yep, nope, not at all, especially not in screaming distance.
Wilford wanders off.
I whisper.
Let's see. Okay.
Well, I whisper to Jordy, I'm trying to get out of here too, but at least I try to get a more positive outlook out.
That's the spirit. I like you, Alec. You're not like the other people here in this godforsaken town. You've got a good head on your shoulders. And hopefully, he says, choking up the grip on his axe, it'll stay there. Alex, since you're so nosy and like looking into things, I could use some help in the kitchen stores. I need some help in the inventory. You can count, can't you?
Oh yes, I can count by 2s, 4s, 6s, 8s, 47s, and 560.
Excellent. I like that. And I like it when people like you are far away from whatever it is I do. Why don't you go that way and down there into the kitchen all by yourself?
I may even counter a haunted chef or something.
And he wanders off. His size Crack. What kind of idiot is that? Haunted chef doesn't come in till Easter.
Actually, if you would allow me, I'd like to try and use my unique move of genre savvy.
Okay, to do what?
Pull out the script.
Okay, to check the script?
Yep. He says that doesn't happen till Easter. I want to check the script.
Okay, what's the stat for, is that zany or is it something else?
It's laughs, so just roll straight 2d6 roll.
So roll a straight 2d6.
I get a 10. 10 plus, choose one, pull a copy of the script out of nowhere and describe what's going to happen in the next scene. The next 3 moves taken by anyone but you in the next scene take +1 forward.
In the script notes, it says, unbeknownst to our heroes, it's not, they call it a slash convention where it's about people who write strange and erotic adventures, but it's actually a slash convention where homicidal maniacs from all over the country come here to meet once a year to discuss stabbing techniques.
Is this something we all know, or just him?
Nope. Only Jordy knows this, unless he feels like he needs to tell anyone else. Then there's some red lines in the margin of the script that says standards and practices. Says you can't actually kill anyone on screen. You have to say they went back to their home planet. So then there's notes of it's a slasher convention where people use knives to send people trapped in the digital dimension, another planet. What is it they said in Dragon Ball?
Send to the next dimension.
Yeah, they use knives to send people to the next dimension.
Well, I imagine in the it probably just says a lot of FTB in places.
Yeah.
End of scene, FTB, or killer appears behind FTB. TV fade to black.
Yeah, fade to black. Yeah, there's a lot. There's and the notes are fade to black, and then as you put the head in the script, it's like, yeah, Wilford to get murdered in the bathroom, Alec to get burned to death in the kitchen, Komodo Loco to get lost in the hedge maze, and it says DBT next to Komodo Loco, and Jordy. It says, and this is Jordy, and for Jordy, the worst fate of all. And then there's just like a big stack of folders from standards and practices that has like all the horrible tortures that we visited upon you.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give you a laugh point for that.
Oh, thank you. And remember, the next 3 moves in the next scene, taken by anyone not me, get a +1.
Because he's genre savvy, any moves that relate to what I just, if you do exactly what I described, you get a +1. So if you decide to get yourself killed, or other things, and Crack, after you read that script, Crack grabs the script out of your hand and he looks at it with his big beady eyes. Says, "Garbage, total garbage they buy these days. Why don't people understand the genius of my own work?" Anyway, if you're so nosy and you feel like you need to be reading through things, why don't you go do the turn down service? Here, he says, reaching off camera and then shoving a bunch of towels in your face.
That doesn't make sense, Crack.
I didn't get to where I am today by making sense.
I know. You were written that way.
He's going to stare at you for a moment, like on a big close-up of his eyes. I like you, Jordy. I'll deal with you last.
No, I know. You're lying.
And then he's gonna like try to leave, and he trips over Komodo's tail. You're still here? He says, getting up and pointing at Komodo.
I will say that people ask me that a lot, and then I will go to the hedge maze like I've been told to, like a good Komodo.
That's good. All we can do. Yeah, he says, watching you leave. That's all we can do is follow the path that's been given to us.
I also asked him if he has any vending machines, just around, just for me to check on.
Crack will go, well, of course we've got vending machines. We're a hotel. They're ridiculously overpriced. Just go look. Guys, I can't be bothered with this. I have to get back. He hefts the axe onto his shoulder. To work. And then he'll wander off unless no one stops him.
Do not stop him.
One family fortune for the candy machine. Yeah, it's one candy bar, $8. Okay, so Jordy, looking at the script, says, "Well, I guess you're going to wander onto the turn down service, right?"
I mean, yeah, sure. Okay. I've experienced this episode before, I imagine.
Well, this is new.
Oh, it's new.
It's new.
That's crazy.
Get the script.
Maybe this show has been re-enhanced. They're rewriting episodes. They're writing new episodes. This isn't a rerun.
Okay, so Wilford, you wander off.
Yes, I do.
And start to clean the bathrooms.
Yep. I imagine Wilford is going in circles. He like drools on one side, turns, mops it up, drools on the other side, turns, mops it up.
There's also this annoying thing where like the mirror, like the mirror in the room has a stain on it, and you wipe it off, and it says the word red rum, and then you wipe that off, and it says you will die, and then you wipe it off, and it's like, ah! Is there anything unusual you want to do while you're in one of the bathrooms? I asked with trepidation.
I'm trying to think of a good bathroom joke. I just can't come up with one here.
I'm trying
Man,
to
these
think of a
pesky
good.
stains.
Hold on, I'm giving you a laugh for that, Wilford. I'm trying to think of a good bathroom joke, but can't think of one. So yeah.
But yeah,
So
if the stains don't go away, I gotta get a new cloth. Like this dead body over here has like a handkerchief. I could probably use that.
okay. So Wilford, you're cleaning the bathroom stalls. You will have to open one of the stalls, and inside, you will see within the realms of standards and practices, there is a man wearing the same clothes that you are, suspended upside down and spread eagled by his arms and legs, suspended over the toilet bowl, while behind him are all these arcane symbols in red scrawled on the wall.
Well, that's just not right. And I try to turn it up right side up.
Well, you try to turn him right side up, and when you do, the body opens its eyes and says, "Occupado." And to hear that forbidden word spoken out loud is so frightening, you'll have to roll 2d6 plus your cool.
Oh no. Unfortunately, I'm not cool at all.
Nope.
That's not considered a move, is it?
It is. Well, we call moves and then responses. When I make you do something, it's a response. So
okay. I'm just checking for the +1 forward.
Right, he could take +1 forward to this roll, but he only has a 7 through 9. So 7 through 9 and 10 are better are the two thresholds. So, yeah. But in any event, all right. So Wilford, I will let you go ahead and disable the corpse, but something bad would have to happen to you because 7 through 9 is the iffy range.
Oh boy, bad stuff.
So I'm going to have. So you can either run screaming out of the bathroom or continue to interact with the corpse, and I'll do something bad to you.
Do something bad to me.
All right, so you overturn the corpse and says, "Hey, don't you understand privacy?
I'm so sorry, sir."
Okay. Then when you back up and stumble backwards, suddenly a hand falls over your mouth. It is a leather gloved hand. You can't see who's grabbing you from behind. The person is wrestling with you. What do you do when people grab you from behind who are wearing leather?
Say no, thank you, sir, with naivete. If that applies.
That does. Go ahead and make a tough roll.
A tough roll? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, I actually have +1 on that.
Yeah.
No, thank you, sir. Stranger danger.
Well, that's only a 7 through 9. So, you will turn and, no, thank you, sir. You will turn and get a good look at this stranger. When he says, a stranger is just a friend you haven't met yet. And you will see a face, but you don't immediately recognize them because they're wearing sunglasses. So what you remember is that there's somebody here wearing sunglasses and leather gloves, and they stick you in the neck with a hypodermic needle.
Gasp.
And then they inject you.
And I'm out, aren't I?
Well, that's up to you. Do you have any defense against being injected with strange drugs?
Good question. Well, this could end up a little slapstick.
So, do you want to
count as a grudge match, I suppose?
Yes, you can invoke your grudge move. What is your grudge move?
Or I could invoke my monstrous powers of just being too darned thick-skinned.
Right. So, do you want to be too monstrous, or do you want to invoke your grudge move, or do something else?
I will be too monstrous, I think.
All right, go ahead and make a monstrous roll. I believe that's plus zany, and you will get +1 because you are being confronted in the bathroom, like the John Savvy guy warned you.
All right. So I have +3 on this total.
Right.
Still rolls very low.
Well, remember that if you have any laughs, you can spend a laugh to get +3 to your last roll. Oh, I'm sorry, +1 die to your last roll. That's how it works, right? Or is it +1?
Good question.
I think it's +3 to your last roll, actually.
It might be +3 backwards.
I remember it's +3 back.
Yep, okay, so I will definitely use that. I will go ahead and spend one of the laughs I have and add 3 to that.
Okay, so so he tries to stab you, and the needle breaks.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to break that, sir.
Ah! You are useless to me as a subject matter! And then he will kick you, and you will fly into the stall, because you have a 7 through 9, so it's a borderline success. So he'll kick you, and you'll fly into the stall, and the door will slam shut, and you're in there with the corpse guy. And the corpse guy will again say, Occupado.
Ah!
What do you do when you're spread-eagled over a corpse in a bathroom? Remember, standards and practices.
Oh, no. Let's see. Well, obviously we can't be in the same stall. I'm so sorry, sir, and I will pick it up and put it into the next stall over.
Okay. Go ahead now. Since we're in a goofy situation, I'm gonna make you make a cool roll for that, because whenever things are weird and dicey, you'll have to make a 2d6 plus cool roll.
Gotcha.
You don't get a bonus to do this because he wasn't mentioned in the script. Stupid ad-libs.
Very true. But hey, it's an 8.
All right, you toss him over into the next stall. You sit there in the stall bored and have nothing better to do but open the door. By the time you open the door, the sunglasses-wearing figure is gone.
Whoa, he's like a magician. When I wasn't looking at him, he disappeared.
And the red stain on the mirror says, "You are too slow." Ha ha ha.
Huh. That's not very nice. I better report this to management.
I'm going to go ahead
on the mirror.
I'm going to go ahead and cut to Alec.
Okay.
Oh, okay. And what I've heard about that fire.
No, the Underhill Hotel is so big that if you were to scream for help, no one would hear you.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm just going around the kitchen, seeing, looking around. Maybe I'll pass by a library.
The kitchen itself is ridiculously large. It's white tiles upon tiles have been copied and pasted in a way that would make Jordy go, "Oh, does anyone know the craft of animation backgrounds anymore?" And stacks of like inventory. There's all these like, made up brands, and everything's covered. Like all the food here is covered in a thick layer of dust. It's like no one's moved any of this stuff in 50 years.
Do they have my brand?
My brand.
Well, better get to organizing, and then
yes,
I go.
there is a box labeled "Special Eyes." You get a laugh for that. Okay, so Alec. Now of course, while you're investigating all of like the kitchen itself is mostly boring. You got a little clipboard to take numbers on. You also can't help but notice there's a freezer that has 8 padlocks all on your side.
Huh. Must be really either monsters in here or they have really special.
So do you ignore the freezer and go back to the inventory?
I'm going. I wonder if there's keys in here. I better check this as
well. So you're looking for keys to the padlocks. Well, it turns out that the padlocks don't actually have key locks on them, but each one of the padlocks has a special kind of dial on it that has a variety of different symbols.
I look at the symbols. What do they show?
Let's see. There's like a coffin, an albatross, a umbrella, a sneaker, a pair of eyeglasses, a fishbone. And could you roll two 6-sided dice and add sharp for me?
But of course.
Good news. You get to add 1 because you're expecting to be murdered.
So it's a 7.
While you're sitting there trying to solve, it looks like some sort of weird puzzle. Who locks things up and puts a weird kind of puzzle on it when suddenly you're grabbed from behind with a leather glove over your mouth so you can't scream? When you are accosted like this, how do you break free? or do you just submit to whatever is about to happen?
I submit to my dog tendencies and bite the.
What is your grudge move?
Cringing.
Okay, well, I guess you could flinch and bite. Why don't you go ahead and roll your grudge move to try and get out of this?
Yeah, it's like, yeah. Yeah, and maybe if I roll, a high, then I'll.
All right. Yeah. I mean, you could also try to bite, which would be your tough, I guess. So you could either bite him or grudge move out of this.
Grudge move.
Oh, wow, you're good with your grudge. So you flinch.
Yeah, violence and results in seeing us. Hey, Komodo, could you take a hit?
All right, so what? Well, well, I have to specify that. So Komodo. Yeah, I'm gonna flash to you outside. So you're in the topiary. Yeah, it's like it's kind of weird here. All the topiaries in like weird shapes of like dinosaurs and monsters with long tails and that kind of stuff. And you could swear that when you're not looking at it, the topiary changes position. Like you didn't think that one was flipping you the bird earlier, but now it clearly is.
I audibly wonder if there's anybody hiding behind the topiaries or moving them around. Because that's how it works in the cartoons.
You'd like to read the situation to see if anything weird is going on here. Why don't you go ahead and roll 2 dice and add your sharp? You get to add 1 because you were warned by Jordy that you're going to be horribly murdered.
Oh no.
Wow. Well, you are totally not ready for it when where the branch that makes up the dinosaur's tail swings back and smacks you, causing a lump of damage and hurling you into the air. You then smash through a small transom window and wind up in the kitchen, where you land on a mysterious man. Alec, the mysterious man, when Komodo Loco lands on him, lets you go. Komodo, take another lump. What are you up to now?
I will just look at him and ask him if he wants a Komodo Cola. A delicious, refreshing Komodo Cola.
So you land. All right. So Komodo Loco will try to stand up and look at the mysterious man. Alec, what do you do when you're free?
Oh, yeah. I run out of there immediately.
Alec runs off screaming into the kitchen. Alec, make a cool roll. 2d6 plus cool. Ah, 8 or better. Alec, you were temporarily stuck in an endless hallway of that repeats the same image over and over again.
I think
but you successfully get away. Meanwhile, Komodo gets to get a good look at the mysterious assailant. So let me see if I have a picture of the mysterious assailant. It is a tall and rather imposing Catman dressed in a leather overcoat. And when Komodo Loco offers him the drink, by the way, Komodo, you get a laugh for that.
Okay.
He will snatch the energy drink out of your hand with his glove-clad paw. And he says, "Excellent! This is exactly what I have required!" And then he'll pop the top, and then Komodo Loco! Whoosh! And all these, like,
it sprays over in slow
motion. You need Komodo Loco! It's quick energy to win all video games! And then he will guzzle it in front of you. And then crush the can contemptuously in his hand. That was solid aluminum! I have the power now to crush aluminum cans! You fool! He says, staring at Komodo Loco. You have given me the instrument of your own destruction!